Swadika, welcome to Buddhism Today, where the world discovers Thai way of Buddhism. Over 2,600 years since the Buddha enlightened, but his teaching still stays true and relevant to everyday life. So we have asked the monk why his teaching is able to stay current even when the time changes.
When we try to make sense of things, it is normal that we try to look at things in dual aspect. For example, in order to see that this is white, you need to have knowledge of black. To see that this is a man, you will have another gender in your head that is a woman. Therefore, the dualistic idea, the dualism, is some instrument we use in order to define, in order to explain things in this world. Therefore, when you talk about the spirituality, when you talk about the religious ideas, the very technical term we always use is that the religion is a part of the thing what we call lokuttara or supramundane or transient or even what we call is spiritual, versus the reality, what we can touch, what we can feel, is something mundane, something worldly, something what we call a secular. So there are so many studying which we make, try to define, try to illustrate the whole idea of spirituality or religion with the normal mundane world. But however, in Buddhist idea, it has a more deeper meaning in a sense that lokiya, it is something that what we do in our daily life. Lokiya is something that we can touch onto, we can feel. But lokuttara, it is sometimes it is an idea, sometimes it is an understanding, sometimes it is something which we develop based on what we call is a mundane level. So through the mundane level, we are able to understand the supramundane level. Through the basis of a worldly being, we can think of or we can develop our mind to be transient or even beyond the world experiences. Through the world of secularism, we can develop the idea of spiritualism. Therefore, the idea of this two dualism in Buddhist terminology, what it calls lokiya, which means worldly, and lokuttara, which means beyond the world, it's basically talking about the way how do we practice our life, how do we practice the virtues of the Dhamma. If something we bring into the daily life, the way we behave every day, that would be something we do as we call as a lokiya, it's worldly things. But out of that, if we develop, for example, something beyond, something nobler, and then which has a greater impact to the society and yourself, that is a lokuttara or beyond the world, or it is a spiritual matter, it is a sacred matter. Therefore, just to give a simple example, to give in order to help out just for the based on humanity could be considered as a worldly thing. But if you give and then using that act of giving to cleanse your mind, and then making your mind is more lighter and enlightener, that is the part of what we call it supramundane or spiritual world, lokuttara.